All right, good start. Corey's here.
Yo,
What's up, Dragon Keeper?
What's up, y'all?
Cheers,
You
dude.
guys are looking cute today.
How dare you, dude? How dare you deny fucking the Celtic
I
gods?
thought we were doing a warm up to it.
No,
No, it was a
dude.
hot drop. Yeah.
Sorry,
Right.
sorry. I am. You can go from the top again. I haven't clapped yet.
Yeah, no.
Hold on.
It wasn't so troublesome.
No, it's not that bad. Pretty good. Nice. Oh, you're trying to double up. Wait, did you go half Budweiser, half Bud Light?
No, Budweiser. I went foamy though, so that way people see it.
Double Bud.
Yeah, so it looks like you're actually drinking beer.
Cheers, boys.
Hey,
To Valhalla,
to Valhalla.
Hell yeah.
brother.
Warrior shit.
Warrior shit.
What is the thing in fucking?
Witness me!
I love how you knew exactly what I was talking about just by us
You guys
in
are
my
synced
eyes.
up, dude. That was not enough to go off.
Witness me!
We're linked, dude. We're linked. He was like, I know what he means.
That was a baby clue, but he got it. Yeah.
He's done what is to this movie a couple times.
What is a witness me? Oh, I do. We are on the same wavelength. Well, because I was thinking Valhalla and like in that, the Mad Max movie.
Yeah.
And they're just, they're all gung ho on
Yeah.
Valhalla. They don't know what any of them look like.
They have no idea what Valhalla even is.
I was going to say, yeah.
It's passed down like 7
They've
generations
rewritten
at that
history
point.
again, and so, yeah.
I don't like how there's no. Can't we get a prequel? I need a prequel.
That's what the new one was.
No, but I need
A
prequel.
Yeah.
I need year one of Fallout.
Like how it happened.
yeah, what the fuck happened? How do you
Yeah.
not have any books? Why is nobody reading?
Why are all the cars fine?
Why are all the cars fine? Why is gasoline still available somehow?
Sorry, gasoline.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come on.
sorry. But like all of it is very it's a
know.
very confusing
I think it was
premise.
like a nuclear war type situation. Like everybody got nuked, and then they're just everybody. So much fallout. Hills Have Eyes. 99 happened,
Yeah,
and
Yeah, but
they're just
still, how do
breeding
you
with
have
their sisters.
gas though?
It's from the earth, dude.
So there's still oil rigs.
Yeah, there's
Probably.
I think
So
in one
they
of the
still
movies there's
know
like
how
a
to
gas
work.
plant.
They
Yeah.
still know how to work oil rigs.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't
But-
lose that much knowledge, apparently.
No, well, because the hardy, good old
Yeah.
boys, dude. That
Car
live on
manuals
oil
were
rigs.
fine.
Yeah, I guess you're
Yeah.
right. That might be true. Okay, now I'm starting to picture it.
Yeah, those are the ones that, like, let's be honest, mechanics can be a pretty crafty and like an enterprising bunch, but they're not known to be geniuses.
They
It's
are,
supposed to be
yeah.
in Australia too, right?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is all in
Australia.
Australia.
But you think about like
So-
doom preppers and people that would have like a vault or like a shelter. It's usually car guys. It's
It
usually
is,
guys
yeah.
in that
Engineers,
wheelhouse.
Directly
stuff
related.
like that.
Guns,
Yeah.
cars,
Yeah.
things like
Yeah.
that. I don't know. Yeah.
Either you're a mechanic and you become a prepper, or you're a prepper and you become a mechanic out of necessity.
Exactly.
I think
Yes.
the mix is engineer plus military equals prepper every single time.
That's an immortal man right
It's
there.
too much worrying, too much
Yeah.
thinking going on. Because
I
I
think
know
so.
engineers, and they think way too much, dude.
Too much.
Way
Yeah.
too much.
My grandfather was. He was like coming up with new systems for everything.
And
I'm
you're
like,
like,
just
bro,
flip the fucking light switch on,
bro,
grandpa.
there's too many times at work where they're overthinking how to cut a 14-inch circle.
Yeah.
And you're like, brother, it's a 14-inch circle. Cut the fucking thing. Like,
Yeah,
what are we?
just cut it.
Why is there a meeting about this?
Get
right
a fucking
now?
drum head, put it on top,
yeah.
do a stencil.
14 inches is 14 inches, dude.
Yep.
Cut the shit.
Well, depending on the temperature outside, but
That's the shit they talk about.
well,
you're like, bro.
look, dude, I'm a descendant of an engineer.
You're like,
so-
bro, I'm gonna stab everybody with a spoon right now if you fucking don't stop talking and just go cut me this circle.
Make sure you sharpen the
do
sides of that spoon.
Because I need to get this out by Tuesday and it's
Yeah.
Wednesday. So
No,
let's fucking
I think engineers are making it. I think. What'd you say? Engineer.
engineer plus military, any military.
Any Coast Guard.
Doesn't matter.
Engineer
Or just
plus
guy
Coast
with
Guard.
army pants who was never
Yeah,
enlisted.
yeah. Guy that watched Saving Private Ryan too
Yeah.
many times.
Dude, I'm ready.
Yeah.
You know you're not.
It's me. I'm
No,
ready.
yeah,
dude.
I started
Are you
watching
a
all
once
the
a
war
weeker,
movies
though?
this last year.
I fell asleep watching Black Hawk Down last night, dude.
Yeah.
I'm ready for this
Not
shit.
gonna lie, I do watch All Quiet on the Western Front.
It's good.
Maybe once a month.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
Dude, I do. I'm
pretty
not
good.
trying to one up you right now. I watch it and I figured out a way to turn off the subtitles so it's just in German.
Oh, beautiful.
That's
And I'm
pretty
like,
deep.
I understand.
So I have to live it based on emotion. And I'm like, oh,
You see it in the eyes.
Like yeah, you see it in the eyes. When his best friend dies at the end, dude, you're like, fuck.
Not gonna
Literally
lie.
a dude he's only known for like 6 months.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. If they were like, hey, you guys have to go out for the last hour of battle, for sure would have
What the
just.
fuck was that?
I don't know.
Something.
It was terrifying.
Power of the Dragon, dude.
For sure, though, you know when he's standing there and he's like, and they're like, you guys are gonna have to go out for the last hour of battle, do Germany proud. For sure, would have just shot myself right there, just like in front of everyone. For sure, would have just been like, you know what, fuck it. Like,
It would have been the equivalent of like a slow clap. You're the first one to do it, then everyone else just keep going. Dude, the fucking Kaiser's just like,
whoa. Hey, I guess we're not going out. We're not going out.
Yeah.
We're not going out.
that'd be insane, dude. The dude with the weird fucking mustache who was hardcore 90 seconds ago. And then his entire platoon just fucking offs themselves in front of him.
Yeah, you got to go down with the ship at that point. You can't be the only guy standing there
Yeah.
not killing
Oh, yeah.
yourself.
I think the reality would be,
Yeah.
though, that he would be the only one that would live because he'd be like, I'm not doing that crazy
Yeah,
shit.
Well, he's got to go to
well-
his superiors, and they're going to be like, well, we're just going to kill you
Well,
for you.
no. At that
Yeah.
point, I feel like if everybody does, it's kind of like a senior ditch day, and nobody told you. Did that
Yeah.
ever happen to you? Like a
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
prank? There were a whole bunch of pranks.
Yeah, like
my
half of my
senior
class was
year,
gone.
yeah.
I'm like, where the fuck is everyone?
Yeah,
Doesn't-
I had no
yeah.
idea. Senior
gotta feel
ditch
That's how you
day.
figured out that you weren't on the ins.
Yeah,
with
that's
everybody.
got to
You're
feel
like,
bad.
But it was
yeah.
all right though, because every class they were just like, I guess we'll just watch a movie today. Like none of
I know, 4 movies in a
teachers-
day.
Yeah, the
Kinda
teachers
sank,
didn't care, so
yeah.
it was kind of a nice day. Like
Yep.
you just got to chill and watch movies, and then everybody that did senior ditch day had to do a quiz. I didn't,
They got in
so
trouble.
it worked out.
Yeah.
But
So how does this relate to All Quiet on the Western Front again?
Killing yourself and not
yeah,
being the
killing
only one to
yourself.
not do it.
Yeah, not
Oh,
being
yeah,
the
that's
only
right,
one
yeah.
to not do it. Yeah, but at that point, you know what I'm saying? All the generals that didn't kill themselves, or the other guys that didn't, would just be like, "Oh well, I guess we're not going out for the last hour because there's 17 of us.
Yeah.
So that would be dumb.
Yeah.
You know, in the end,
Yeah.
it didn't really make a
It
difference.
would work out
you know?
for them.
Yeah. It's crazy because if that kid just like didn't come back at the very end, like imagine he just like stayed out in that field with his friend while he bled out. Like if he stayed there for like, I don't know, just another day, like he literally could have came back and he would have heard birds chirp and be like, the war is over.
That or he would have been captured by Americans, which God sent. They would have been like, "Here's a fucking cigarette and a chocolate bar.
yeah.
What the fuck are you doing, brother?
Yep.
Where are you from?"
What's wrong with your eyes?
It's literally like, I mean, there's a couple stories of like, and then they mowed down all the prisoners, but it's like, but they
Yeah.
found those guys at a concentration camp and saw ungodly things at
Yeah.
the camp. So what were they? They were upset. Safe to say,
feel
our
you
boys
kinda-
were a little angry.
You err on the side of, oh, they're just gonna fucking put me down if they find me, kind
Yeah.
of. You're not like, oh, they're gonna fucking give me a meal. They're gonna be like
Well,
super understanding.
that's the thing.
I'm just a guy in a greater system. It's like it's usually not like that.
I'm just here for
Now, I know-
Germany,
just-
man.
yeah,
I know All Quiet on the Western Front's World War One, but in
Yeah.
World War II, they definitely were like, I hope if we get captured, it's by Americans and not the Soviets,
Not the-
because the
yeah.
Soviets would rape you to death.
Yeah.
like like that did happen
With an AK,
Whereas
yeah.
the Americans would be like, here's a cigarette, you piece of shit, and like the worst you're gonna get is a black eye.
You know what I
like-
didn't check? I'm so sorry that I have to do this.
You didn't.
No, it's recording, but I didn't check the memory.
Oh,
It's only been 10 minutes, so let me
we'll clip it.
check the memory.
Can you stay recording?
No. Not a chance. 10, dude. God damn it. Why couldn't hold that?
No. Did you hear that?
Yes, I heard it.
I don't think you needed the microphone to catch that one.
Oh, dude, I have like 100 gigs. I don't know why.
It's safe. It's safe to check. It's happened like 3 times and it blows.
Yeah, dude.
It's a good check. That's a good check.
I was using like just
Yeah, that's
my
fair.
phone. Every
Yeah.
episode, I'd have to like.
We'll take. Dude, be careful, bro. You almost
No, dude, this is Tempur-Pedic.
dropped.
Oh my
that
God,
whole
sketch.
thing, bro.
Yeah.
All right, we're back.
All Quiet's good, but Dunkirk was pretty good too.
Dunkirk was
Dunkirk
good.
was. They had a good like cast in there.
I do like Dunkirk. You know, this is the thing that I've been thinking, and I started thinking this, and then I saw a video on it, and I'm like, people aren't going to think it's original, but fuck it. There are so many different World War II movies that say, like, this definitely had a huge impact on winning the war. But, like, all the World War II movies say, like, this is the thing that
is
won
every
the war.
World War II movie. Yeah,
Dunkirk was like,
The
if that hadn't
Pacific,
happened,
or-
it would have turned the tides of the war.
Bro,
Yeah.
because there's
And then-
so many things.
And then the the Imitation Game, you know, with the gay computer coder, whatever. If this didn't happen,
Midway.
fucking. I was about to say Band of Brothers,
Bro.
but like that's like a
Brother.
it's divine
Operation
intervention,
Mincemeat,
brother.
Inglorious Bastards.
Yeah.
But it's divine intervention, bro. All those things. That's just all that had to happen so the world could be the world. And that's that.
Yeah.
That's God, dude.
Yeah.
That's God being like,
Yeah, but I'm just saying, somebody I think is
Like-
severely overestimating their impact on World War II, and I think it might be America.
no, it's definitely not
Maybe on like a
America.
couple stories.
Yeah.
It's like you keep telling the same story over and over again, and like the fish goes from like a foot
Yeah.
to 10 feet or however the saying
That
goes.
could also just be like winter's blues, though, where you're just like, oh, we always had it in the bag, and it's like we didn't. What we just think that. 'cause
Yeah, we
won,
just
so-
got lucky.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
dude, without us, we would have lost the Pacific.
Yep.
Yeah.
And without us,
Amen, brother.
it would have
Amen,
gone
brother.
a lot longer in Europe than it did. Like, a lot longer.
Yep.
Like, until, like, there's barely any Germans or any Russians.
Mhm.
That's what would have had. Like, it would have been really bad.
Yeah, sure, maybe.
Yeah, it got pretty. It got
Like, there
pretty
wouldn't be
dire.
a London.
Pretty
There wouldn't
wild.
be a France.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be any underpants. Sorry, dude. I'm feeling magical today.
Oh hell
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
But, like, that's, yeah, it would have been bad if we didn't.
Yeah.
If we didn't join up.
I know.
Shout out the boys, dude.
Shout out the fucking
To the
boys.
boys.
Raise your mead, boys.
Yeah, dude.
To the
Raise your
boys.
mead.
Russia was pretty progressive though. They had a lot of ladies fighting. That's
Oh
pretty
yeah,
progressive of
that's
them.
because they were
Yeah.
running out of dudes.
Yeah, but or were they just really
They were
progressive?
Literally
Or-
running out of people, and they
or
were
were
like,
they
"You're a
just,
guy
like,
now."
ahead of us even
Yeah.
in modern times. I don't know.
They get mad at Hitler for declaring total war, but I
Yeah.
think Russia started doing it a little early.
It's pretty cool of them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like because they were trying to save their men's seeds for the future. They're literally like horticulturists. They're just like hoarding. Like
That's a real fear. But then you get like a situation like there was that turtle or tortoise that had to like impregnate like 100 other turtles and save his species.
Dude, what
you just
a
have that with
tortoise.
like one. You haven't heard about this tortoise?
no, dude.
There
what
was
is
this one tortoise. It was like an endangered species of tortoise.
Was it the Galapagos?
Something like that. He was a big fucker.
I could see them doing
Galapagos.
that.
But
in
he had to. He
Galapagos.
was like one like 100-year-old tortoise, and he literally saved his species. He had like
Hell yeah.
maybe a couple hundred babies. I
Holy
don't know,
shit.
but it was just one. He got to do it all himself. It was pretty
Rock
cool.
star.
Dude,
Now
a
every-
centenarian
Yeah.
tortoise
But no.
busted nuts.
Yeah,
But
dude,
no,
he was like the Genghis Khan of tortoises.
But think about it now. Every Galapagos now is gonna have
Tortoise
some
con, dude.
some deformity
He's got that
because
guy's
they're all brothers
set-
and
yeah.
sisters that
Yeah.
are fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Does
gonna,
that happen in nature? Like besides humans, I know it definitely happens with cousins and sisters.
bro?
and
It's
shit.
got to. I sent a
What do you mean?
video.
Like, do like wild animals get diabetes? Is that what
no,
you're asking?
not diabetes,
Well, I
like
mean-
Down syndrome. I sent a video.
Yeah, probably.
I
yeah.
sent a video of a Down syndrome owl that we will see later on.
No way. Oh, dude.
Of a Down
yeah.
syndrome owl, dude.
When we take our break after this episode, I gotta
For
send
real.
those clips.
Sounds like
That's
you
a
have
real
no doubt
thing.
in this claim. So
And
I'm like ready to see this.
Adorable.
Oh,
It's so cute, dude.
I
You're
was
like,
ready
I
for
want
that.
to take that guy
what,
home.
what I mean is like,
Holy
do-
shit! Oh my God! Speaking
hold
of Down
on.
syndrome, no, this
oh,
is
here we
huge.
go.
Hold on.
Oh,
Holy shit! I got
Hold
a
on,
big
man.
one.
No. I was talking.
I'm sorry,
Let
I'm
me
sorry.
go. Let me go.
Oh, it's
saying.
big. It's big. I had a
All right.
big
Obviously,
thing
this
this
is
weekend.
so much more important. Go
I don't know
ahead,
who
dude.
can't hold it harder.
is.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, dude. No, mine's principle. His is excitement. It's
Me and Jordan were playing golf. Me and Jordan went golfing.
it always has something to do with U of A, golf, or fucking comedy or something.
It's so good. Me and Jordan went golfing, bro. And we get there. We're paired up. We're in the cart, and then out of nowhere, the marshal comes out and he goes, "Hey, you guys are going to be paired with this group today." And we were like, "Oh, okay, cool." Then we meet our group, and in our group is a grandfather, a son, and a grandson. In our group,
Okay.
grandfather and son, perfectly fine. Grandson,
Fucking weird.
he's a beautiful boy. The grandson.
Oh, okay.
He's a beautiful boy, the grandson.
Okay.
He's not golfing today.
Okay.
Just the grandfather and the son are.
He's just
Just the grandfather and the
He's just
father.
there for the grand.
right.
Yeah, and
He's there
just in
for driving the golf cart.
It's 3 dudes, 1 cart. Kid can't be older than like 11.
Okay.
He's a pretty big boy.
Beautiful boy.
He's a big, beautiful boy. He's sitting in the middle of grandpa and the dad, dude, the whole time.
Having
You're
a good
this
time.
This is beautiful. Every time we tee up, he calls his dad. He goes, "Here we go, babe," to his dad. And you're like, beautiful. I fucking love
Wait,
it.
are we talking beautiful boy as in like boom, 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 like that kid?
No,
We're talking.
no,
He's so beautiful.
no. He's
Like his soul is
it's a beautiful, special boy, dude.
Beautiful,
got a beautiful
special boy.
soul.
Okay,
Yeah,
I thought so. I
he's-
thought so.
As you can remember from when I started this, speaking
Yes.
of Down syndrome, and
Okay. Yeah.
and he was the best. He was the best, bro. So, and then he would, every time his grandpa got up to drive, he'd go, "Here we go, big dog." he called his grandpa Big Dog. So we were calling Dad Babe and Big Dog all
Babe,
day.
Big
Those
Dog.
were their names now. We were like,
Big
well,
Dog.
that's locked in. We were like, this Babe, this Big Dog. And we just called him that. And then we would drive it and he'd go, "There you go, Big Dog." And he'd call
Dog.
us Big Dog. And we were like, yes, hell yeah. He'd give us knuckle bumps after the drives and
Yes,
stuff.
dude.
And every time one of us got on the green, anytime somebody got on the green, no matter what number shot
Did
it
he lose
was,
his shit?
no, he would go, "Birdie!" And he'd flap his wings because Jordan at one point, he kept going, "Birdie, birdie." And it was like the 3rd hole. And then Jordan looked at it and went, "Birdie," and flapped his wings. And then the kid for the rest of the day was flapping his wings after every shot.
Dude, the dad's probably so mad at him.
Yeah, Jordan had to look at the dad, and Jordan went, "I'm so sorry for
gave him
teaching
a
your
new
son
tick.
that." And the dad was like, "No, it's totally cool. Now when I get a birdie, we can both be really excited." He's totally down with it. And then at the end, dude, we golfed all day. None of us got a real birdie the whole day.
But there were birdies
He
all day.
thought, yeah.
Everything
Bro,
was a
if
birdie.
we-
Pressure's on at
If
that
he
point.
was
Yeah.
dude, if he was scoring us 43 under par, we would course record.
Perfect 18.
Holy shit.
What'd you score? 18, dude.
It was
18 all the way.
He would show up he would go to the green. This was adorable, dude. It was so, and also kind of clutch. I think I might start doing it. He would go to the green with the yard reader,
rangefinder,
with
yeah.
the rangefinder. Yeah, he'd
The
go.
good kind. the
He'd
good
go
kind
on the
rangefinder.
green, and he'd go right next to his dad's ball, and then put it right on there, and then he'd look at his dad, and he'd be like, 17 feet. And his dad would just go, "Thanks, buddy."
Yeah, watch this drive.
and then just putt it. Like, no, he was doing it for putts,
No, I
not
know,
drive.
I know.
Like, yeah, it was. And then he would follow it. Like his dad would putt it, and he would
with the
he would like
rangefinder?
run behind it with the rangefinder, like it was a camera. And then it would land, and then he'd look and be like 3 feet. And
Please tell me you guys are laughing the whole time.
no, we weren't. We were just
Not like laughing at him, but like
No.
this is so hilarious.
yeah, because like so was like the whole family. Like,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were all like, "Isn't that adorable?" We were
Yeah.
like, "Dude, it's the most adorable thing we've ever seen. This guy rules. This is the best day of golf I've ever had." And then at the last hole, finally, the
Yeah.
dad hit a legit birdie, and then all 5 of us went.
Birdie,
Even the grandpa, we were like, "Birdie." We were going crazy in front of the clubhouse. We were like, "Hell yeah, we finally
Nice.
did it." That's all we wanted to do for that kid was hit a fucking real birdie for him.
I'm glad
We
you got
fucking-
one. That would have been a real
we
tease
got
if you
one.
didn't, dude. Yeah.
We got
Dude,
one.
he got his
Grandpa
wish.
shakes off his scoliosis
Yeah.
and he's flapping too. That's a beautiful story.
Grandpa
It was
and
gr-
grandson got their Make-A-Wish, dude.
There was one point where I fucking topped it real bad.
Okay.
Real bad. I topped it. Ball went like 2 feet. It was terrible. And then they drove by on the cart and he just goes, "Ha ha." I was like, I can't even be mad.
Damn,
He got
dude.
chirped by a beautiful boy, dude. Life is great.
Oh,
It was
that
a good
sounds
day, dude. It was a good day.
That sounds like a good
Yeah,
day.
that might have been one of my favorite golf outings
Yeah,
of all time.
That was I'm not being a jerk about this. That was genuinely better than what I was gonna say. It was a lot better than what I was gonna say. I don't even remember what I was gonna say. But I
just
know I'm an asshole for being mad
Yeah.
still. I know.
Well, I know that if we would have kept going, I would have forgot that I did, and then
I know.
like while we were walking out, I would have been like, God damn it, I forgot the fucking best golf story of all time.
I'm not being rude. I'm just looking to see if I wrote any notes.
Yeah, I fucking suck at golf, dude. I went to like a golf tournament for like auto salvage yards, and I felt so bad for the guy I got paired up with because he was like a guy that goes to tournaments, and I was just a guy that's played golf one other time. And yeah, he was just like, he knew instantly. He's like, oh fuck, I got one of these guys on my team. And he was like actually trying to win, and it was not happening with me.
You didn't get one.
They
good
only
shot
gave
for
me
him?
like 6 golf balls, and at one point I was bumming them off him. I'm like, "Hey, you got an extra one of those?" Because I just kept fucking like hitting them in the fucking, and I kept going out to get them. They're like, "You're not supposed to go out to get them like in the fucking rough or whatever, because there could be snakes or whatever." And I was like, "All right,
What?
fuck it." Yeah, I was at like Wild Horse there, right outside of Phoenix.
Who are these people?
Yeah, they were prim and proper, and I was like, dude, if I get bit by a snake going to get the golf ball, that's kind of like my problem, right?
Yeah, it would have been
Isn't
like,
that-
eat my dick, dude.
Isn't that
That's
my
a
issue?
$4
It's
golf
like if we
ball.
were somewhere else, would you do something anyway?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm getting that golf ball. Are you high?
yeah.
I was like, you're gonna like. Let's be clear, man. I'm on your team. You're gonna lose either way.
Yeah, no, it was kind of like where they take the longest. I forget what it's called. It's called like a scramble or something
Yeah,
like
the
that.
scramble.
Yeah.
They take like the longest. So it was never mine. So he was pretty much carrying the team the whole time.
You never got one?
No, I don't think I got one, dude. And you know
Yeah,
what? The
like-
only one I did get was they give you like it's like kind of like a fundraiser and shit. So there's one hole where like if you pay $20, you can just put down that you got a birdie or whatever on this hole. And I was like, all right,
Do it.
I'm down. Yeah.
You're at
That's like the only thing that's gonna
$360.
save me at this point. Yeah, but it's kind of like a weird. Like the prize wasn't even good. The prize was like I think like a fucking $20 Amazon gift card or something.
Ew.
Stupid. It wasn't even anything cool. So there was like
You're
no
telling me
reason
it wasn't
to
a
win.
brand new Porsche, dude?
Yeah, I was just there to
Two.
drink and shit, and I did. You know, they
Totally
have like
sorry.
the bar cart come around to you and shit. That was kind of
Nice.
tight.
Bev
Yeah.
cart.
Yeah,
Love the Bev
I was
girl.
growing up. My dad would
Shows
play
up.
golf, and I'd just be the wheel man. I would just be like that beautiful boy. I'd just be the fucking driving the cart.
Yeah.
And that's the most fun, dude. Yeah.
Birdie.
Yeah.
It was great, dude.
That sounds fun.
I miss Birdie Boy.
You remember what we talked about last Wednesday, right? Corey was there.
What did we
I think
talk
he
about?
might have heard it.
What were we talking about?
I'm going golfing with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna
hell
go
yeah.
golfing with you guys.
You gonna
It's
be like
happening.
me in that situation?
I'm gonna
Hell
be
yeah.
getting bit by snakes out in the rough.
Hell yeah, you're
The
gonna be doing
tryout,
it.
baby.
And be coming back.
Getting after
Hey
it.
guys, look what I found! Just a Gila monster. Look at this,
The tryout.
dude. That's literally what I'm gonna do. I love nature so much. Like,
Yeah, dude.
dude, when I'm out on my walks, I cannot help but just like look at the ground next to me. I hate being that dude who just like looks straight. Like I just have to be like looking out for rocks and just.
You're going to fall in love with
Lizards
golfing.
It's the
and
same
shit.
thing for me, but I'm always looking for a dollar.
Dude, the amount of animals
I'm
we
always
see.
looking for that dollar on the ground.
Yeah, I found a 5.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
3 tournaments ago, me and Tyler hand-fed a roadrunner.
What?
Nice. Do you know I know how to call roadrunners?
You would have came in handy.
Dude, I will show you, dude. If there's a gang of roadrunners out there, I will have them running to us.
They're like little T-Rexes, bro.
They are,
They're like
dude.
posture and shit is very, or like more like a raptor, like a little
Yeah,
tiny
little
raptor.
raptors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
They're like the little ones that attack Newman in Jurassic Park.
Compy.
Compsognathus.
Yeah. Oh, he just knows the full name, dude.
Sorry, dude. I can't disrespect the
Yeah,
dragon
dude.
shirt.
Actually, it's
Yeah.
called fucking
It's called a
nerd.
Compsognathus.
Dweeb.
I know like the short versions of the dinosaurs' names, but I don't know the full ones.
I've
That's
brought
pretty
this
wild.
up before, but
Yeah.
like I was a dinosaur nerd
Oh,
when I
hell
was
yeah.
a kid, and for 6th grade I did a report on a dinosaur.
Which one?
Granted, I got the name, I pronounced the name wrong, but I was correct. Is I called it Gigantosaurus.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
they call it like gigant.
It's
yeah.
Giganotosaurus,
Oh,
but I was like
shit.
fucking dyslexic as shit, so I was like, it's gigantic, it's the Gigantosaurus, you know. And I
That's what
presented
everyone
this
calls
project.
it though. So
It,
yeah,
it
you're
looks,
fine.
it's Giganotosaurus, Giganotosaurus.
Yeah.
So you
Whatever.
didn't know all there was
So
to
anyway.
know about dinosaurs.
So
That's a lot
fuck
to
off. You're a piece of shit.
I feel like even they don't know.
Go die.
The guys
I
that-
know everything there is to know
dude.
about
Guys go to
dinosaurs.
college and they still don't know shit about.
I just did a project on reptiles. I know everything there is
So
to know about
in
turtles.
6th grade, I did.
You didn't know about the turtle that saved his whole species.
I did a science project on Giganotosaurus, but I called it Gigantosaurus, and I was like, yes, there is. There's a dinosaur called Gigantosaurus, and like the entire class was just openly laughing at me, dude.
How did
Like,
they know more? That's crazy.
And,
I
like,
guess at that age,
because
dinosaurs is like
embarrassing.
pretty
Because
common
they
knowledge.
looked at the board where
Yeah.
it was printed on and were
Oh,
like, that
yeah.
says Gigantosaurus or whatever the fuck.
No. Like this was
read
6th
it?
grade.
Yeah.
We did I forget what
Okay,
it
that's
was.
fair.
It was like a
Or they were
show
just
and tell
experts. At
project
that
or
age, they could have
something.
just been experts.
It's true.
Yeah.
I knew a lot of sixth grade experts, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
When I broke my arm in sixth grade, everybody in the class was a fucking doctor. It was like, it's not broken. And I was like, my arm's
This
broken.
was a little different. This was, my future in archaeology. So that's kind of fucked up. I for real thought like I was going to be an archaeologist. I also thought I was going to be a skateboarder. I thought I was going to be I thought I was going to be on the show CSI.
You're going to be the coolest guy ever.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
What's that?
You're going to be a Dexter, Tony Hawk.
Yes. I was going to be
Jurassic
rad
Park.
as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
I was going to be so fucking rad. I was going to be unstoppably rad.
That's pretty
But-
sick. Yeah.
Tight.
If it worked out.
But yeah, I forget what the context was, but I presented this to the class. It was like a report that we all had to do on a dinosaur. And I literally grew up with this book, a glossary, A to Z of like every dinosaur that had been discovered up until that time. I bring this to the class, I do the report and everything, and everyone just openly starts laughing at me and mocking me. And I literally was like, it's real. It's like I'm defending Santa Claus. I'm like, I fucking saw him, okay? Like,
Feel so strongly.
like
about
to the
it.
point where I'm like almost in tears, And then my teacher, thank fucking God, my hot sixth grade teacher, she pulls it up on the
Sixth grade, always a hot teacher in
Dude,
sixth
she was
grade. It's
hot.
crazy.
She was mean though. She was mean and hot. I think that's what got me started.
Gotta be.
I think that's what got me started.
Get walked all over.
And so she pulls it up, and then she was like, "Class, you all owe Connor a big apology." And I was like, "Yes,
Vindicated
dude.
as fuck.
Just vindicated as fuck." I was like, "Yes," but now is that nerd that knew something that nobody else knew. So I was just like a fucking weird kid.
And then you just got called gay. And
Yeah, and then I just called gay, and
and it was over.
then I started liking emo girls, and like.
That sounds like a character defining
Yeah, you
moment.
jerk off to
honestly.
Goon.
Dude, that came later. That came way later, dude. That came like 2023. I'm gooning, dude. But yeah, why did I bring that up?
We were talking about favorite dinosaur. I asked you what your favorite dinosaur
Oh yeah,
was.
so turns out it's Giganotosaurus.
Hell yeah.
And of course, I
He's
grow
a big
up.
fucker. Yeah, he's
And
a
that
big dude.
it became like a bigger thing and like jogged my memory because the thing came out in Jurassic World, the Giganotosaurus, and I'm like, dude, those kids in fucking sixth grade, if they could see me now, dude,
They probably
vindicated.
saw it and remembered
Yeah.
you. They're like,
They
remember
shoulda
that
had-
kid? You remember
They
that?
should have had like honorable mention Connor Hanna for doing.
What's your
tight.
favorite dinosaur?
Yes.
Probably Ankylosaurus. Ankylosaurus
Yes,
is
love
tight.
those,
He's like
Those are cool.
spiked shell and he's got like a club on the end of his tail.
Yeah,
Yes.
that guy.
Yeah, that guy fucks.
What's the dude in the water? I like that fella.
Spinosaurus?
Spinosaurus?
Yeah, I like the
one
the
with, like,
water
the sail
ones.
on the back?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Where
Or
I
are you
think
talking about the Mosasaurus?
still might exist.
Yeah.
Nessie.
Yeah, he just got really small.
Oh,
No,
It's like
not
small
Nessie.
versions of
Just
that.
like in the fucking deep,
Oh,
dude.
Nessie.
Those motherfuckers be down there.
I
You
think I
know,
see a lot of
the
Nessies
deep-
out
you
there.
know there's some big shit. Yeah, the ocean fucks me, dude. I hate the ocean.
Yeah, I
bro.
don't fuck with when it gets like super dark and they're like, "Oh shit, look at that!" Like if I see anything when it's that dark, I'm gonna shit my pants.
Bro, you saw me in the
I'll
ocean.
make the sub uncomfortably
Yeah, dude.
smelly.
Like when those waves came and lifted you up off the
I was like,
sand.
I'm out. I'm out. Dude, I stepped on something, dipped, I'm out.
Fuck that. Yeah, no.
That was like 20 minutes. I had to stay out of the water.
You
That's-
ran to
yeah.
like a foot deep, and we were out at like maybe 5 feet, 4.5 feet deep. Foot touches something slimy. He's like, "Oh no, 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 no!"
Oh yeah, dude. Let alone something moving touches
yeah.
your
Dude,
foot,
fuck
or if it's muddy and you can't see what's happening down there. That's like most
Bro.
people's common.
Yeah, and
fear.
it's always like seaweed or something hitting your
Yeah, something
ankle, and you're like,
weird.
I
Dude,
hate it.
seaweed will
I
try to
hate
kill
it.
you, dude.
Bro.
Seaweed will get you all
Oh.
fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're in the seaweed, and you're like, this is what's in Shark Week, dude. Like in Shark Week, they're like,
Yeah,
that's
sharks
where the
live in seaweed.
The seals live in the seaweed, and the sharks go to the seaweed to eat the seals.
They just
and-
assume you're a
and then
seal.
and then you're just chilling on the beach, and you see seals, and you're like, I don't think I'm gonna go in today. There's seals out there,
Which means sharks are around.
which means sharks are around, which
Yeah.
means I'm gonna die.
Sharks are just
I
like, this seal
remember
looks weird.
I was like 9 or 10 years old. I went to Lake Roosevelt or whatever that's up in Phoenix, one of those lakes, and Mom took me out on her friend's boat, and I was super terrified of like swimming. Like if my feet aren't touching the bottom, I'm
Oh,
freaking
fuck
the
that,
fuck
yeah.
out. I had also never experienced that before, so I was like, nah, I'm not going
yeah,
in.
Tucson
Literally
people
10
probably
years
all
old.
have fear of open water for that
10 years
reason.
old, like trying to like rizz up everyone on the boat. I was like, nah, I don't need to go in.
I don't need my
I'm
floaties.
good. I'm good. Don't need my I had full on like float like life jacket, floaties on, glasses, and one of the like long noodles floats off of the boat like really far away, and I was like, dude, everyone's gonna love me for going off on my own on this solo mission, going to get this noodle. So that's what I did. Swam as fast as I possibly could. I'm like, dude, they see me cutting through the water. I'm good. And then I come back. I'm like, I got the noodle. And I start swimming back, and I see what I thought at the time was like an enormous shark. Right. And then I lost my shit, just like that weird kid that was way too afraid of spiders.
You started doing that noise?
Yeah. I was like, and then I fucking just booked it, dude. And then it was probably like, I don't know, like a catfish or what the fuck is up in those lakes? A bass?
Pretty much, yeah.
Carp.
Yeah.
Carp.
Probably a
It
carp.
was,
Not very big
it was
fish,
like
but-
whitish.
Bro, we were at Roosevelt when I was little. Like the whole family. And my fucking uncle was on a wave runner, bro, going. In fucking a carp, dude. Jumped out of the water. And he hit this fucking carp. Killed it instantly. Pulls it out of the it's fucking it was probably fucking like 4 feet. Like
No
this
way,
carp
dude.
was fucking huge, dude.
Oh
They'll
my
get
God.
huge,
Wait,
yeah.
hit it like with the wave runner?
Yeah, with the wave runner. Boom. Fucking picks it
Yeah,
up,
no, it's down.
grabs it out of the water, rides the wave runner to where me, my grandpa, and like my other uncle and like other family members were fishing. Rides it over, comes right up to where our lines were and goes, "How do you like this, you fucking jackasses?" And then just drives to the side of the lake and just tosses it on the side and then drives off. Because there's a dead carp. What the fuck are you gonna do with it?
Eat it.
You know, he just wanted to be an asshole and just threw it there.
Yeah.
And then yeah,
Shoulda
And then
ate it, dude.
For like 3 days, I just watched that carp rot.
Ew. Oh, because you kept coming back to the lake?
Yeah.
You're like, ooh.
Yeah, and they'll just like hang out at the bank. They'll like find their way to like the bank and just stay there. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, another story.
About to have
So
to
I
start
was
eating.
like 4 years old. It was the first time I ever went fishing up on Mount Lemon, that lake up there.
Yeah, a little Rose
And
Lake.
I don't know what I saw, but or like if I changed the memory throughout time, and I was like, that was definitely a ball sack. It was definitely a fleshy ball sack that I found. But I remember being on the shoreline of that lake and seeing what I thought was like a tiny ball sack, you know, and I don't know what the fuck it could have been from.
You saw a loose
Could've been
scrotum.
It
Yeah.
literally looked like
It
a
could have been a ball
tiny
sack.
pair of nuts.
Yeah.
I knew because at the time I had a tiny pair of nuts.
You're like, that
I was
Were
looks
like,
like
truck
my
nuts
nut. It
looks
invented
like-
at this time? you
there
think?
were no
Yeah.
truck nuts at this
Yeah,
time.
this could,
No,
yeah, okay, so
no.
it's pre-truck nuts. Okay.
Pre-truck nuts. So
Okay.
everybody knows it's pre-truck
Canonically.
nuts.
Damn.
Yes. So it's canon. Yeah. It's pre-truck nuts.
Yeah.
These were definitely, and I picked them up, not knowing that they're probably testicles. You know,
I
with
feel
my
like that's
bare
when you
hands.
know, though, like when you
Were
pick them
they?
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know because they were like in a fleshy like sack, and they were like probably the size of raisins, you know. And I was like, huh. And then I just put it down, and I thought about that. That was like one of my first recurring memories.
You're like,
When I
yo,
was
did
a
I
kid.
touch
was like,
some
did I
nuts?
touch, did I
Yeah,
touch
like-
some nuts, dude?
Yeah.
Just
I touched
loose
some-
nuts?
like loose nuts, yeah.
Whose nuts were those?
Somebody lost some nuts. It could have been like squirrel nuts or something. I don't know.
Could have been.
Yeah, okay, it seems more likely.
Was it like in the lake?
It was just like on the shoreline, like lapping up with the water.
Okay,
you know,
so
just
yeah, it
floating.
could have been. It
Yeah.
could have been squirrel nuts because after it's been in water for a long time, it loses
the
its
nuts
hair.
just
No, it
Buoyancy.
loses its hair.
yeah.
Have you ever seen like a dog that drowned and somebody finds it?
No.
Can't say
I
I
have.
have.
Well, Instagram
Yeah.
Instagram reels.
Okay.
I got
It
one
loses
What are you
today.
talking
hair?
about? Loses its hair.
Well, it wasn't. Well, like it.
the
like,
balls lose their
decomposes?
No, the hair falls off of stuff.
Oh, the
and
hair.
it's- Hair.
I thought you were saying air.
No,
It
not
loses
hair.
its hair. I'm
No,
like
hair.
balls is pissed, dude. Balls is pee.
Would you be surprised if I told you that balls aren't pissed?
Not at all, dude. I knew that. I knew that before you did.
The last time I went up to Rose Lake, I bought one, or my wife got it for me, one of those big fucking magnets. Like I was watching a bunch of magnet
Yeah,
fishing videos,
dude.
and I got one, and it's like an $80 magnet. So it's like you don't lose the magnet is kind of the goal
Yeah.
of the day. And I did eventually get it stuck. Like I threw it perfectly in a tree, just like fucking pinned it. and I'm just like pulling for like I don't know 30 minutes like to no avail. And there's a bunch of signs up there that's like don't jump in the lake, you know, it's just for fishing. And I had to jump in to get the magnet. Like I wasn't gonna lose the $80 magnet.
Yeah.
But the whole time I'm like plopping the fucking magnet in the water. All the people fishing next to me are like, this fucking guy right now.
Yeah,
dude.
you're fucking everybody's shit up.
Bro, yeah, they were pissed. But I was, you know what I mean? You're in Tucson, you have a magnet for fishing.
It doesn't specify what kind of fishing,
yeah,
all right?
You don't have a whole lot of opportunities to use this fucking fishing magnet. So you got to get it in while you can, you know what I mean? It's not like
lakes, dude.
I just saw so many videos where dudes were like finding cool guns and solving cold case murders probably.
Dude, no one can blame you. You wanted to find a gun.
Yeah, but that's in like Missouri.
Yeah, or like places where there's like a bridge in a river and that's the perfect spot to toss it.
You should like tie that magnet to like an ATV and just drive through the wash. You'll probably find more shit.
Yeah.
You just pull up a whole car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's tons of just whole cars in the wash here.
Dudes in France are like where there's canals, they're like pulling up whole old bikes and shit. And like a lot of weird shit you find with a fucking magnet.
I know.
There's one dude just finds AirPods. Like he goes to spots where people like canoeing and kayaking.
Yeah.
And apparently even waterlogged, they're worth like $100-$200 or something like that.
Really?
Yeah. So you just
that'd be nice if you could probably just kind of drag one along the bottom of the Salt River. While you're going
that'd be a good spot to do it. Yeah, wherever people are
spot.
Drunk and losing their iPhones and things like that is kind of like the spot.
Day at the Salt River, just snorkeling
Patagonia
with a magnet.
might be worth it too. Yeah, but no matter what, there's always like fucking seaweed trees and shit to like get it stuck on.
You know what would be the spot at the Salt River where everybody's doing the cliff diving? Those spots.
Yeah.
There's like 3 of them, and those are the spots.
You gotta pack like a snorkel, and you gotta be able to go and rescue whatever.
College kids like camp out at those spots, dude.
Yeah.
Like I remember being a kid and seeing like tents at those spots.
Yeah,
I was like, damn, someone bought a day pass and just stayed there for a fucking weekend.
Yeah, dude.
It's crazy.
Dude, every time I've gone down, oh no, dude, we keep the
Oh,
burps
sorry, we
burp
burp in the mic here. Yeah, my bad.
We rate them.
Very rude of me.
We rate them.
I'll give that a 0.
No, it was a ground out. It was a ground out, a little dribbler. You know, hey, good contact. Good contact.
Yep, it's a walk.
Good contact. Way to go, kid.
Yep.
Way to go, kid.
Birdie.
It's a dugout. The burp dugout.
I don't know if this was a true story. Every experience I've had at the Salt River has just been starts off awesome, ends horrible.
Ends with a sunburn.
Ends with a sunburn.
Doesn't matter how much.
Most people are getting faded as the day goes by.
Does not matter how much sunscreen you put on, dude. You're getting a sunburn at the Salt River King.
I've never been. I grew up in Washington, so we had like rivers to do that on.
Yeah.
But I've never been to the Salt River here and done it. But I imagine it's very similar.
Pack the most sunscreen you can.
Yeah. And if you think you've packed enough, think again.
Yeah. Be like, actually, let's bring 4 sunscreens.
Still won't be enough.
Because I'll lose 2.
We need more.
Dude,
imagine just like the mama bear
away.
of the boys group, just like we need to bring more sun. Just
We
brings a
don't have
fucking Home Depot bucket of sunscreen. We have enough
honestly,
sunscreen.
leave the phone in the car.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
No,
Leave
that's
the phone in the
that's the
car.
number one thing you're gonna lose. You
First
can
time-
Ziploc bag it. You're still
First
gonna
time I
lose
went,
it.
lost my phone.
Yeah.
Second time I went, all right, phone in a plastic bag, waterlogged plastic bag.
Yeah.
All right, third time, not bringing my phone. My friend loses his shit on the river. Got way too drunk and started fighting everybody.
Yeah, see that's the other
Blacked out.
thing that's prone.
Ruined it.
Yeah.
Park, pay for the ticket, go back to the car, put
Yeah.
everything in the car.
Yep.
Yeah.
Only
Lock.
bring booze and food.
Well,
Yeah.
and your keys. You have to bring your keys.
And keys.
Yeah.
But you put those in the fucking cooler.
Yep.
Because it does. Fuck the fob. I'll get a new fob.
Yep.
Just right in the ice. Don't care.
Anyway, I don't know if this is a true story.
Not leaving me.
One of my friends said that he went on the Salt River one time in one of those areas where everybody jumps off the cliff. He said that he or somebody he was with jumped off of the cliff, hit the bottom because he just went like whoom, hit the bottom and like knocked some rocks loose or whatever. And when he floated up, a dead body floated up with him. And I was like, what?
I mean, it's not the most unheard of thing.
Not the most unheard of, but it's like a popular spot. And I
Yeah.
don't know if like he was just trying to get clout. He was also a little too old to start to get story clout, to like
I don't
just make
feel like
up
there's an
lies.
age cap for that. I don't.
Bro.
Feel, yeah.
This one girl we hung out with in high school fucking went to the Salt River and jumped off of one of those and fucking had to get airlifted out.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say died.
No.
I was like,
Hell
damn.
yeah. No, that like Lake Pleasant is a lake that still has a body unaccounted for there. So last time I was there, I was like, "Where is it?" And I was kind of like peeping, and I didn't.
Which
find
is
it.
kind of
Just
gross.
look for
when
a
you think about
floating
it.
scrotum.
Yeah.
I would not, bro. I would
That's
not.
that's
be
how it
getting
happens,
in that
right?
lake, dude. I would
Yeah.
not be getting in that lake.
That's how all
Yeah.
bodies get found, is that they're just floating by the scrotum,
Yeah,
just holding
dude.
them up, dude.
If they were like, "Yo, there's 2 unfound bodies in this body of water," I'd be like, "Well, I guess I'm not water skiing
Yeah.
because that's disgusting."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's down there somewhere.
dead things
But
in
that's
here?
that's probably why you wouldn't find it if like a rock was holding it down or something like
Yeah.
that, or if it's in like a water channel that's like constantly pushing it down. Or something
Yeah.
It's
like
like you
that.
guys don't have sonar and like professional divers that can just like fucking circle
Just
that
do a lap
bitch
every
out.
week, you know,
Yeah.
make sure that all the campers are there.
And just be like, all right, that's a
Yeah.
day, and we're right here, and we can go right back here tomorrow and start the laps again till we
Yeah.
go all the way
But it makes me
inside.
wonder, how is there a rock on top of the body? You know what I mean?
The mafia.
Right. Oh yeah, that fucking Vegas shit,
Yeah,
dude,
dude,
when
yeah.
the drought happened.
Yeah.
All those bodies. In
Is
the
there
oil
like
drums.
rapids on that one? Does it get intense at any point, or is it just pretty lazy
like-
river?
Not really intense. Like there's some parts where you gotta like lift your butt up because it gets really shallow.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say
But you
happens.
you
Yeah.
you scoot across, you know.
the last time I did it before I moved back to Tucson up in Washington, I was like, my buddy had like these like gold pans, like panning for gold, but they're
Yeah.
like plastic. And I realized that's a great thing to put under your ass when you're tubing, because when the
Yeah.
rocks would get really low, you just skid right across. It was kind of nice.
That's not
It
bad
was
idea.
Yeah, it's
pretty
a
yeah,
butt
it was
helmet.
pretty smart. But like
Butt helmet.
everybody out there, like the plan is just to do like a one tube with the cooler. Everybody ties themselves to that one.
Yeah, which
and so
can
it
end up
doesn't get
being a
lost.
pretty bad idea.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If that one hits something or gets stuck on something, like everyone's fucked. You know.
Yeah, like if it gets stunk on stunk. Damn, dude. All right, somebody else tell a story. I'll circle back around.
I got well. So the reason I was asking about how sharp it is or like how white water it is because there's a few up there that are kind of fucky.
I wouldn't say nearly as crazy as that. Like it's literally, you know, it's
you
manageable.
rent a tube.
Oh,
You rent
yeah.
a tube.
Yeah,
It's
so they're
not
not
It's so
worth
worth it.
manageable. But like
Yeah.
what I was gonna say is that, you know, you could get stuck. It could get stuck on your blacked out best friend.
Yeah, that too.
You know,
Yeah.
who just decides like nobody's going anywhere and just holds all the tubes back
Yeah.
because he's just being.
Is Ty here?
Yeah, he's here. He's been
Oh,
Yeah.
Ty, Google how
Hello.
many people die on the Salt River.
Laptop's in there.
Oh, damn it.
Hey Siri. Now that-
Dude, this is gonna
yeah.
be an easy episode for me to upload.
Have you ever been in like an undertow though? If you ever felt like the current like pressing you, that's fucking terrifying, dude. Like
Yeah.
when I was really little, I had that happen where
Oh,
I
yeah.
fell off the tube and I got to a point where like a rock was pushing the water down from just going fast.
Yeah, boogie boarding,
Yeah.
dude. There were some times boogie
That's
boarding where
sketch,
you
dude.
whip it, dude, and
I
fucking.
never felt that.
Oh, you're just stuck under there.
No,
You're
it's
like,
sketchy, dude. Yeah.
But I would before we ever went, like anytime we went to California to go to the beach as a family when I was little, I was like, I'm just gonna watch surfing videos. So I can hear these guys be super chill about the ocean, so I'm not a pussy in front of my family.
Yeah.
and I would go out there and like I would listen to these videos and they'd be like, yeah, man, if you get pulled under like the current or something, just let it take you. You always get spit out. You're more buoyant than the water, so you're always gonna get spit out to the top.
Right.
So just let it
Like,
go.
don't try to fight it.
Yeah,
your
don't
first
try to fight.
reaction
If
is
you
gonna
try
be to fight it.
yeah,
though.
if you try to
Yeah.
fight it, you're just gonna get deeper.
Dude, no wonder those dudes are always so chill. It's like, don't fight it, bro.
Yeah,
Don't
just
fight it, bro.
relax and
Go
you'll
with the
go up.
flow. And
Let it
shit.
send
Whoop
you.
sha, whoop ah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, and so like anytime,
Ugh.
anytime I've eaten it while boogie boarding, I'm just like fucking just full
And then
ragdoll.
it's back
Yeah.
around to our MGP
And then
sketch,
it-
just floating in the water.
Yeah, just yeah, exactly. And then before you know it, the waves take you up, and you're like, all right, I'm good, I'm alive.
Yeah, you just
I'm
do the
good.
Jesus cross
And then
you
I
float to
freak
the top.
out because I'm way too deep, and my dad's not next to me.
Dude, we haven't told Cory about like our backyard party sketch.
Oh, dude, it's such a good sketch.
It's such a good sketch. Lead it off, dude.
So it's like it's a whole bunch of husbands and wives, you know, like they're in like their 40s, you know, and like they're planning a pool
Just like
party.
imagine like us now, like all our
Yeah,
Yeah,
girlfriends.
like one couple's
and
planning
wives.
a pool party, and they're like, "All right, so we're gonna do this, you know, that, the other thing, pool party shit." And then the pool party starts happening. Everybody comes in, you know, and the wives like slowly start acting throughout this, like moms at a pool party, like to their husbands,
Like concerned for
like you
them.
see like you see like moms talking about their kids, and then their husband just rolls up, and then they just like put sunscreen on their face while still like, yeah, so like Johnny, you know, first grade, it's, like, and
then the husband's like, all right, now do my back.
okay,
Make sure you get some water in you. You can't just have beer all day.
and then the wife's like, don't jump in right away. I just put that on you. Don't jump in right away.
And then he goes and jumps in right away.
Yeah,
Mid conversation, Johnny.
Yeah, she goes back to the conversation. You just hear a splash in the background. She just like shakes her head and just continues, and then like it just keeps growing and growing, and it like pans to the pool. There's like guys playing like pool volleyball, and then one guy just like in the deep end, like.
And then another, he's like, and then one of the wives starts freaking out. It's like, oh my God, no, wait for the flip. And he goes,
There it is.
he just does the flip with the water.
With a little smirk. You're like, see the smirk? He's fine. Like it's two wives. Be like, he's fine.
He just, it's natural to play dead in the pool. Everyone does
Dude,
it.
I do it every time I get in the pool.
Yeah, as a kid, dude, all the time, man. Like someone's gonna see me.
And then there's
They're
like
gonna think
one.
I'm dead.
There's one guy playing Marco Polo by himself with his eyes shut, be like Marco, and then one wife be like, "Guys, play Marco Polo with it."
It's basically just adults acting like kids. That's our sketch idea.
Dads acting like kids and wives acting like moms.
Yeah.
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 That's
What was the football thing?
Which one?
In the backyard, something with the football we were thinking of.
I don't know. Look up the sketch
Throwing out
ideas.
a football. Oh yeah.
We definitely have them.
That's right.
We've got some good ones. Not the inward ones.
Brother. All of these are. Just kidding.
There's always like some like injury that happens around the pool that's like forever in the friend group.
Oh yeah.
We had a buddy who like tried to do a backflip, and it's like, you know, it's like stone like around
Gainer
the
or
pool.
backflip?
Like backflip, and he did such a good backflip, he hit his head exactly where he was
Oh,
standing,
my God.
and then fell in the water.
You
And he was
nailed
never
it.
the same after that. He really was like that. Like was a probably
Wait, this was somebody you knew?
This is someone I knew. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
It was just like a pool, like an in-ground pool, like so it's like cement or like stone, like tiling around the pool.
You're like, what are people's pools
and
made of?
yeah, he's just on the edge, backs up to it, does such a good backflip that he landed exactly where he started, and just bonked himself real good.
Damn, dude.
Yeah,
The only
Changed his
thing
brain
that I have
chemistry.
under the adult pool party doing little kid tropes is, no, he's fine. Watch the flip. And then the wife is like, Mark, did you make the house payment? And while he's like dead, his mouth like breaks the surface. He goes, yep. He just keeps going.
Yep.
Yep. I don't know. We were thinking about something with like everybody played
for a
football or
husband
something.
though, he shouldn't answer the question like yep. He should be like, direct deposit hit Friday.
it's on auto pay.
It's on auto pay.
Some
I've said this before, it's on auto
condescending
pay.
answer. Yeah,
It's on auto pay. Yeah,
For
that's
the
how
10th
it
time, it's on auto pay.
We do this every month. It's on auto pay. Just right back to pretending to drown. Doing like the
in the background, one of the friends, Smart okay?
no, he's good. Another flip.
I would get dropped off at the city pool just when my parents were both working and they were like trying to find something for me to do as a kid. And one thing I always remember about the city pool was like someone would always take a shit in the city pool.
I was that kid.
And they had like an army helmet specifically for scooping the poop. And I was like, what a poor army helmet. Like this thing had the worst life. Like it saw no combat. It just became the poop scoop army helmet.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Why were they using an army?
I don't
helmet
know.
to
It was a
scoop
good.
the
It was
poop?
like a bucket, like you
They
know,
had
like
pool
old
skimmers,
school.
didn't they?
I don't know why. Maybe it was better. We don't know. Have you ever scooped a poop? You don't know what's good at that. You know. Maybe you have. Maybe you have scooped a poop.
Why would they use
Maybe if you use a net, it falls apart.
Was it
Well,
like
yeah,
Did
but
you think about that? You got tons of poop. Okay.
I did, but like, you got to think like it's got to be solid enough that they could scoop it with an army helmet.
what the fuck?
Well,
No,
you can.
but
You
wouldn't
can.
it be harder to scoop it with an army helmet?
No, you like manipulate the water. You
Oh,
push
yeah,
it
that's right,
down.
you-
know how you create the vacuum and then it
Oh, yeah.
pulls it into
They
the
pull right
helmet.
into it.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I'd never figured this. I was like 8, dude. I
They
didn't-
learned the
I
science
didn't know that.
behind scooping a poop out of the pool
Yeah.
is what
When
it
you
is.
do it
is
so much.
At first, they
Yeah.
tried it with the net. It
Yeah.
didn't
They're
work.
like, this becomes a
Yeah.
bigger mess.
Yeah.
Dude, I was the kid,
And then,
as soon as I discovered jerking off, like, I was in the middle of, like, a summer camp, you know?
Oh,
And they
that's
were-
a great time.
Yeah, they were taking us to the
Like,
community
let's
pool.
go out and do stuff. And you're like, let's just stay in.
I was like, oh, yeah, let's go to the pool. And then, like, I started getting, you know, I was a little kid. I was like, I'm going to jerk off in the pool.
In
that
the
little
pool?
demon
In the
voice
pool.
in your
Oh, yeah,
head.
dude.
I'm going to do it.
But it was like, so you remember the times where you, like, when you just started jerking off and nothing was coming out?
Yeah,
Like,
the ghost load.
Exactly, the ghost
Yeah.
loads.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's what I was doing, and I would just hide under, you know, the handicapped staircase. You know? I mean, again, it would be like
Some guy who's struggling to get into the pool.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is this kid
some
doing?
dude getting like lowered into the pool slowly. There's a kid just like. Yeah, that was me. I did that a couple times, and then I was like, that was crazy.
Like, that was wild.
What a ride.
I can't believe I did that. Yeah.
I think I had to stop because I did start coming.
Bro, you had the rush of a guy that bet like $1 million.
Yeah, dude,
on
that's
a
exactly what it
game
was
in
like.
fucking like 7th grade.
No,
Yeah.
like an uncut gems, like, like he's coming.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my god, I'm gonna come. Holy shit! He hits like the parlay.
Bro, uncut gems, fuck, is how I feel at the baccarat table.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I should probably watch it. I've seen
Bro,
a lot
you
of hype
should,
around
but
it.
it'll
It's
give you a
pretty-
panic attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Uncut
it really
gems
will.
will give you a panic
I
attack.
kind of like shows like that.
It's filmed in
yeah.
such a crazy way, and then like when it's over, you're like, it's over?
Yeah.
Like it's so fast.
Yeah.
Ooh.
8. I like that. Ooh,
Follow up.
6. Yeah, I'll give it all together a 6.
Okay,
nice.
altogether give it a 7.
Hey, I'm on the scoreboard, boys.
Nice. Scoreboard.
So we were talking, you know, like, so I was having this conversation with a couple of comics at Laughs last week. You guys ever had a nocturnal emission?
Yes.
You ever had a
Been
cream
while.
dream?
Hey, it's just piss, dude.
Been a while.
That's what I thought they were talking about.
yeah, I
when
would-
they said
yeah.
nocturnal, it's like so everybody's like pissing their pants at night.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
I'm like, I feel so much more normal.
I mean, dude, there's a word for it?
See,
Hell
when they
yeah.
brought up
the
nocturnal
scientific term for it?
emissions,
Hell yeah.
they talked about coming first.
Yeah.
They were-
That's true.
Yeah.
Also,
They hit us
probably
with-
undiagnosed ADHD. I'm like, what?
Yeah. They hit us with you come, and then we're like, and sometimes you come in a dream.
This
They
is-
said that in
yeah.
class to kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
no, yeah.
way,
It's sex
dude.
ed, that was the same
Dude,
thing.
sex
I remember
ed,
hearing that. Yeah.
sex ed at private Catholic school was a crazy time.
That sounds
crazy.
way realer than public school sex
yeah,
ed.
in public
yeah.
school they use like
Yeah.
proper terms like orgasm.
No,
They,
They
don't
did-
say cream dream.
No,
they
they-
don't. Yeah.
They didn't say come,
yeah.
but like now.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they didn't say you come. They were like you
All right,
orgasm.
now you
yeah.
come. You come.
Yeah, but they did give us like there
Now
was
you-
like a slide of like here are the terms for it. Like
It was like
here are
all the slang. You're like, I'm definitely saying jizz.
Yeah.
yeah, like all that. But like we already knew all that shit.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like I remember when like in like 4th grade when my friends with older brothers
Yeah.
came in and were like, I have some knowledge to drop.
Let me, yeah.
like
I have
Before
a
Google, there
nocturnal
was friend's
emission.
older
that's
brother.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's how
where the
people
source came
without
from.
older brothers figured out life.
Yeah.
Was friends with older brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember your friends with older brothers? dude?
Secondhand knowledge. Yeah,
Remember
it was the
being
wealth. It was the
remember
wealth.
being little and they were like, and that's my older brother's room. And it was almost like a cartoon like image played in your head. Like they'd be like, that's my brother's room. And the hallway would turn dark and become longer. And then the brother's room would be like highlighted in red with red light glowing out of it, like Kramer's house in that episode.
Stay the fuck out of there.
Like, you're like,
We're
that
not
is-
allowed in there.
I'm never going in there. And then you went in there and they were like dark, but there was a Slipknot poster and a Green Day poster. You're like, this guy believes in hell. I'm out. This
My
guy.
brother had a Britney Spears
This is an
poster.
unholy place.
You're like, I shouldn't be in here. He has a computer in his room, and you're shocked by that.
I'm
You're
still
like,
thinking
how
about
does he-
Cream Dream, dude.
Yeah. Well, so the reason I brought this up was I was in a group of 4 people. At one point, it started with one guy, and then another guy walked up and was like, what are you guys talking about? Oh, you guys are talking about coming in your sleep? That's crazy. But out of 4 people, I was the only one that had ever experienced it. And I'm like, dude, this is not accurate numbers.
They might be lying.
It can't be 1 in 4 guys. It's got to be a greater number. But
I mean,
yeah,
it's happened
I
to
feel
me.
better now knowing that I'm not. Because I
Yeah.
was going to say that. You guys could be like, what the fuck? No. And I was going to be like, oh, me neither. Hell no.
Well, I mean, nocturnal emissions implies that you have not come in a a long time, and that's why you're
And
coming in your sleep.
Sometimes
and
that is
I've
what it
come
is.
like every day.
And sometimes
since-
that's what it is. Like if
can
you,
come.
if you take a break or if you're doing like like a no nut November, that's when it's gonna happen to you.
I've never done
But
that.
I was
I was
reading this.
It hit me
book.
one day like sophomore year, and it was coarse when I woke up late.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It'll
So I
get
woke
you.
up and was like, "What the fuck?" And then I would like quickly was like, "I guess I came myself," and then just like grabbed my towel from the night before, wiped myself off.
But it's like
got
mental
dressed
power
and
that's
drove to
making you
school.
come. You're not like rubbing up against something.
No.
It's just your brain power's like go. You know what I mean?
Come
Like
now.
you're just like boom, and it's like you don't have that power outside of sleep.
Brother, imagine if there was a button for it.
Imagine if you could just do that awake. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just be like,
Yeah.
come.
Yeah, well, it's weird too because I was reading this Carl Sagan book. It was like Science is a Candlelight in the Dark, and they're talking about how people thought about shit in the Dark Ages.
Yeah.
And the explanation for the cream dream back then was, a succubus came and stole your seed in your sleep, and it was like zero
So
accountability.
crazy.
It was like, let's blame it on a demon.
Sometimes a
Yeah.
demon comes
I know
and sucks you off.
everything was like
Sometimes- yeah.
like a physical thing to them. It's like
Yeah.
somebody must have came by and jerked me off in my
It's not
sleep.
me.
Yeah,
It's the
imagine that,
demon
like, yeah.
stealing my seed.
Yeah, though. But imagine being in year 6
Yeah.
of the world,
Yeah.
not knowing really anything about it.
That's a
anything
good
works.
explanation at
Yeah.
that time.
And then you just cum your pants while you're sleeping. You've never jerked off. You don't even know what jerking off
You're
is.
hella
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah, and you're just like,
but
what
I feel
the
really
fuck
relaxed
is
this
even
morning.
Yeah, you've
Something-
ruined your favorite robe.
You don't even know what cum is,
Yeah.
and you're like, what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then some guy
You'll
who
be desperate for
definitely
answers.
jerked off.
You'll make up some shit.
That's how every priest has started. Is some guy who's done everything is like, all right, I know what's right and wrong to do.
A succubus floated in here and
Yeah.
It was like obviously.
Gave me
Yeah.
the sleepy sloppy toppy.
This happened to me.
the sleepy sloppy.
This happened to me back in 18.
Yeah.
This happened to me, and
Not when I was
back in 18.
In 18.
Oh yeah, back in 18, she came into my room too, dude. She can't
I
catch her.
woke
Damn,
up
she's
and I
a
was like,
Lucy.
well, it turns out she's a spitter, and that's why you have to get a wife. That's why you have to be married, because everybody knows every wife is a swallower. They're not spitters. They aren't quitters.
That's true.
That was
dude.
before options.
Yeah.
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 And they were like, what? And the person they were saying this to was like, what is even a wife? And they were like, sit down, let me explain everything.
It's the older
to you."
brother, dude.
Yeah. It's the older
Back
brother.
in 18, when there was older brothers go back before 18.
Let me teach you about this,
Yeah.
brother.
It
A
was about,
wife is a woman
yeah.
that has to stay with you forever because of God.
yeah. What would it be? It was about year 9 where the older
Yeah.
brother really started spreading knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, I can't
Anyway,
keep this
that
all to
asshole
myself.
Abel.
I can't keep this all to myself. I can get this out to the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, before Google, that was pretty much the primary source of knowledge. You'd be like, well, my friend's older brother says this, and you couldn't
true,
fact
dude.
check that.
Older
you were
brothers
like,
weren't
that is
Google.
facts, dude. He's right, you know?
That was
I
it.
know,
It's
dude.
like,
It was
fuck,
like, dude, Chad is a badass.
Yeah.
I've
That's
seen
where I
his
learned the
room.
Marilyn Manson thing
Yeah,
was
oh,
from my older brother.
exactly, yeah.
I've seen his room, and dude, he has that Slipknot poster.
Listen,
He's terrifying.
You don't
Yep.
just get that stuff. You got to acquire that
Yeah.
through long,
Bro,
hard
well, you
travel
think,
and study.
You think his mom bought him that? No way. I know Mrs. Johnson. She wouldn't buy that.
Yeah, dude, I almost wish that I could have a nocturnal emission. I wish. Dude,
I've
I've been having like, honestly,
I'm blessing
ever
you.
since
I'm blessing you with one tonight, brother.
Thank you, brother. Send me your magic.
I'm giving you one tonight. It's
Send
coming.
me your magic.
Coming in hot.
Dragon magic.
Don't wear your favorite underwear tonight.
Dude,
Don't wear your
sleep
favorite
naked.
baller shorts tonight.
I sleep naked, dude.
Turn away from
Connor
your
doesn't
lady.
have
Turn
underwear,
the
dude.
other direction.
I'm wearing undies right now because these
Yeah.
are like pretty thin. So
How long have we been going?
I don't know.
About an hour.
Oh,
Ish,
okay.
almost.
Nice.
All right. Got any shows coming up, Corey?
Yeah, I did. I regret entering it, but I entered in the funniest person in the Valley competition
Okay.
in Phoenix.
Is that the
It's at like a jazz club or something random, but there's like so many entries.
not
it's
a
like,
Stir Crazy?
No,
Okay.
I think it used to be.
Oh, okay.
And then I got one at the Rock with Whittles.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the
Cool. What dates?
Comedy shenanigans. Fuck, I'll have to check that.
All right. Check out Cory Lytle's Instagram page.
Yeah, that's where you'd find it.
Yeah.
They redacted it though, because the first flyer they put out, it was like first flyer, maybe like 8 comics, and then it was like, then the DLC hit, and they added like 4 extra comics on the flyer.
DLC?
Yeah, dude, Manny was telling me that. I was like, that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, it's I got those 2 coming up, but I didn't do shit last year, dude. My PA was on more shows than me last year.
Dude, that's how I feel.
People were
Rich
like,
has
yo,
been
I'm putting
borrowing
together
my
a show.
PA.
I don't want you on it, but I could use your PA. And I was like, hell yeah, all right.
I
Sick.
have April 11th that we're doing?
April 11th.
April
is when we're
11th,
doing
yes.
that show.
Elmer's show at Bumstead, 7:30. Bumsteads, Tucson, Arizona. April 11th. Come out to that. And June 11th, Sierra Vista. Yeah, it's gonna be me.
Oh, you doing the Doc's watering hole?
Possibly. It's
Or is it
me,
Kenny's show?
Tyler B, Anthony Jenkins.
Oh, nice.
And then
good
I
lineup.
forget what this girl's name is, but she's like short, covered in tattoos. Apparently, she's really cool. I don't remember her name.
Is
she's
she the
from
one
Sierra
running
Vista.
the show?
Yeah,
That's probably the Doc's watering hole.
probably
one.
Doc's
Yeah,
watering hole.
That's
Doc's
probably
watering
Jamie.
hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on Friday, April 11th with Connor. And where is that?
Bumstead, 7:30.
At Bumstead, 7:30, Friday, April 11th.
Nice.
And then I'm at Monkey Pants, April 27th. That's
nice.
in Tempe, Arizona. Come on out. If you're an ASU fan, I'm going to make fun of you and your autistic-ass running back.
Nice.
And Sierra Vista, same place that Connor's going to be at, but this one's at May 4th. So
May the 4th be with you.
come on out.
All right, funniest comic is April 23rd, and then fucking
I'm
comedy.
sorry about that one, dude.
Comedy shenanigans is April 27th. Yeah,
Nice. That
that's
hurt.
it. It's gonna be a busy April.
Cool. Subscribe to the Patreon, guys. We're gonna do a Patreon episode.
Woo! Patreon.